Why are you always so quiet in groups? Society operates on a silent currency: polite fiction, the casual "I'm fine," the forced laugh, the fake enthusiasm. Most people trade this without a second thought. But you see the counterfeit bills, you read the hidden agendas. Why does the average person walk through life so easily, while you feel like a detective surrounded by terrible actors? Pop psychology tells you to trust your gut. They call it emotional intelligence. Let's destroy that myth. Your hyperperception is not an evolutionary advantage, it's an energetic black hole. Your nervous system is over-indexed for threat detection, processing data at a rate that is actively frying your circuits. This is why small talk feels like a marathon, why you crave silence, drained by the weight of knowing too much. You suffer from the burden of the unseen, but there is a mechanical way to turn the volume down, to step out of the interrogation room. This knowledge is your exit strategy. To understand why you feel so drained, we have to look at the cold, hard mechanics of the human brain. In psychology, there is a concept pioneered by researchers like Nalini Ambady, known as thin slicing. It's the brain's ability to find patterns in events based only on narrow windows of experience. In fractions of a second, your subconscious mind scans facial asymmetry, vocal tone, and micro gestures. For the hyperperceptive individual, this system is on overdrive. When someone says, "I'm so happy for you," but their eyes tighten for a millisecond, your brain registers an incongruence. It logs an error code, error 404, truth not found. You might think you are consciously judging them, but you aren't. Your brain is generating constant, low-level threat alerts. It takes immense cognitive bandwidth to process a lie, compare it to the truth, and then figure out how to react. This isn't just an emotional struggle, it is a biological drain. It actively sabotages your working memory, spikes your cortisol, and leaves you with decision fatigue before the day has even begun. You are running a heavy background app on your mental operating system, and it is killing your battery. But then there is the reverse of the coin. There are individuals who possess this exact same hyperperception, yet they walk through the world untouched. They are calm, energized, and deeply peaceful. They don't turn off their radar, they simply change how they process the signal. They use their perception not as a weapon to expose the world, but as a shield to protect their own peace. It is the ultimate competitive advantage in a chaotic society. Let's zoom out for a second. Look at the macro environment we live in. We are surrounded by variables we cannot control. The economy fluctuates, institutions lie, algorithms manipulate our desires, and corporate culture demands constant performative acting. We are drowning in a sea of artificiality. When you feel powerless against these massive, invisible forces, your ego desperately searches for something to control. So what do? You micromanage your immediate reality. You obsess over uncovering the small, polite lies of your friends, family, and coworkers. You think, if I can just expose the truth here, if I can just show them that I know they are faking it, I will regain control. But it is an illusion. Society survives on these polite fictions. If everyone told the brutal, naked truth all the time, civilization would collapse in a day. Your crusade to see through everyone is not giving you agency, it is chaining you to their flaws. The only true power, the only accessible antidote to this modern angst, is choosing when to look away. In behavioral psychology, this is akin to building stress tolerance through strategic ignorance. It sounds counterintuitive, almost lazy, but consciously choosing not to engage with a piece of information is one of the highest forms of psychological resilience. When you notice a polite lie and actively decide to let it slide, you are performing a micro-victory of boundary setting. You are taking a mundane, frustrating social interaction and turning it into a deeply empowering therapeutic act. You are saying, my peace is worth more than this puzzle. This is where everything changes. You have to understand that this exhaustion is not about what you do. It is about who you believe you are. Right now, you have adopted the identity of the X-ray machine, or the detective. You believe your fundamental role in any room is to scan, diagnose, and expose. You think it is your duty to not be fooled. But what happens when you expose a mask? Do people thank you? No. We have a name for this in literature and psychology, the Cassandra syndrome. Cassandra was cursed to foresee the truth, but doomed to never be believed. When you strip someone of their ego defense, they don't feel gratitude, they feel attacked. They label you as cynical, cold, or arrogant. You must destroy the identity of the detective. You don't have to do anything differently right away. You just have to step into a new role, the silent lighthouse. A lighthouse sees the storm, it sees the jagged rocks, but it doesn't jump into the water to fight the waves. It simply stands, observes, and lets the chaos pass by. I know what your brain is saying right now. If I see a lie and don't say anything, I'm being fake too. No, you are experiencing cognitive dissonance. Your brain is panicking because it is used to reacting. But here's the mechanical truth. Repetition is not a prison. It is the key to automation. The first time you let a polite lie slide, it will itch, it will burn. But the second time, it's easier. By the 10th time, your brain realizes that the world didn't end just because you let someone keep their mask. The friction disappears. The effort is temporary. You are simply training your brain to stop sounding the alarm for fires that aren't yours to put out. Let's use biology to our advantage here. Every time you inhibit a conditioned response, like the urge to call out a subtle manipulation, you are engaging in neuroplasticity. You are literally thickening the neural pathways in your prefrontal cortex, the center of self-control. Think about the compounding interest of your energy. According to cognitive load theory, every unexpressed reaction saves you a unit of mental energy. If you save 1 unit at breakfast by not overanalyzing your partner's tone, and another unit at work by ignoring a boss's fake enthusiasm, by 8 p.m., you have an entire reservoir of dopamine and serotonin left over. You aren't crashing. You have momentum. The smallest, most silent effort of letting go in the morning generates massive biological dividends by the time you go to sleep. But right now, there is a voice in your head screaming, "I can't do this. I was born this way. It's my nature to seek the truth. I can't stand fake people." I hear you, and I validate that pain. It is completely real. But let's be brutally honest. You weren't born this way. This isn't a personality trait. It is a survival mechanism. It is hypervigilance. At some point in your past, you were blindsided. Someone lied to you, betrayed you, or hid their true intentions, and it hurt you deeply. To protect you, your nervous system made a vow. Never again. I will never be caught off guard again. I will read every face, analyze every word, and foresee every betrayal before it happens. Your hyperperception is not a defect of character. It is a profound internal cry for safety. As Dr. Bessel van der Kolk notes in trauma research, the body keeps the score. Your system is stuck in alarm mode, but the very armor you built to protect yourself is now suffocating you. You are poisoning your own present moments because you are obsessed with predicting future pain. We need to attack the myth of always trusting your gut. Your gut is traumatized. Right now, your intuition isn't a truth teller. It is a highly toxic risk control mechanism. It tells you to use discipline to stay sharp, to stay awake. Throw the word discipline away. Discipline is a flawed, finite resource. It runs out. What we want is automation. If you commit to a specific time frame, let's say 21 days, to actively practice this strategic ignorance, the science of habit formation takes over. You create a finite horizon of discomfort. 3 weeks of consciously holding your tongue, 3 weeks of letting people be wrong, fake, or insecure. Once you cross that line, it's no longer a struggle, it's automated. The heavy, rusting gears of your hypervigilance will finally stop turning, replaced by the silent efficiency of peace. Imagine a sanctuary. Think of an old stone monastery high in the mountains, shrouded in mist, or a quiet, empty room in a library on a rainy afternoon. What makes these places feel so profoundly safe? It isn't just the silence, it is the absolute absence of expectation. No one is trying to prove anything, no one is performing. You can build this exact sanctuary inside your own mind. You don't need to escape to the mountains. By simply allowing people to keep their masks, you build a protective moat around your consciousness. The noise of the city, the static of fake smiles, it all bounces off the walls of your mental sanctuary. You evolve from merely trying to be efficient to claiming a space of deep biological safety and peace of mind. And here's the final shift in perspective. When you look at people and you see their masks, what do you feel? Disgust? Annoyance? What if you looked closer? The falseness you see in others is rarely born of malice. It is almost always a shield. People wear masks to hide profound, paralyzing insecurities. They smile too wide because they are terrified of not being liked. They act arrogant because they feel small. When you practice strategic ignorance, you aren't just protecting your own energy. You are practicing the highest form of empathy. You are looking at a fragile human being and silently saying, "I see your armor. I know why you wear it, and I will not tear it off." This act, usually seen as a burden of having to deal with people, transforms into a clinical, validating therapy. For both of you, you are no longer a victim of their fakeness. You are the silent guardian of the interaction. You create a psychological border of safety. So how do we materialize this philosophy? How do we strip away the theory and survive tomorrow morning? Here is the absolute fail-proof blueprint. 3 steps. Step 1, destroy the friction. When you spot a lie or an incongruence, your reflex will be to analyze it. Stop. Take 1 physical breath. You destroy the initial friction by creating a 1-second gap between observation and reaction. Step 2, parasitize the habit. You already have the habit of analyzing. Keep the habit, but change the label. Instead of silently diagnosing them as fake, silently label them as safe. Tell yourself, they are wearing a mask, they are no threat to me. Step 3, inject the dopamine. Smile. Not a fake, performative smile, but a subtle, internal smirk. The moment you let the lie slide, reward your brain. Acknowledge that you just won the game. You just saved your energy. That hit of dopamine will wire the habit permanently into your system. Listen to me. The music of your life has been out of tune for too long. We need to get to the heavy truth of this. Every time you exhaust yourself trying to expose the truth, every time you let someone else's mask ruin your mood, you are declaring that your inner peace is cheap. You are letting someone else's insecurity dictate your nervous system. But when you execute this mundane task, when you sit back, observe the mask, and choose not to engage, you are providing physical proof of your own self-worth. You are saying that you love and respect your mind too much to feed it garbage. Failing to let it go isn't just overthinking anymore. It is a declaration of low self-esteem. You deserve better than to be the unpaid detective of a broken world. I am not asking you to change your entire personality overnight. I'm asking for a micro-commitment. For the next 7 days, I challenge you to be the lighthouse. Let the polite lies pass. When a coworker exaggerates a story, say nothing. When an acquaintance gives you a fake compliment, just say, "Thank you." Do not analyze. Do not expose. Just for 7 days. Tie this tiny action to your new identity. Prove to yourself that the world will not end when you stop trying to fix it. So I have a question for you, and I want you to answer it down below. Are you going to keep living as the exhausted detective, or are you ready to become the silent lighthouse? Type detective or lighthouse in the comments right now. Let it be a contract with yourself. If this transmission resonated with the static in your mind, subscribe to the channel. We are building a sanctuary here. Until next time, stay quiet, stay observant, and protect your peace.